When the devil brings up your past, bring up his future. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group. This is part number 2 of our 5-part series. In the Psalms, part 2. Remember, we're trying to get a better understanding of prophecy. And there are even words of wisdom in the Psalms to us who are looking at the last or end of days on this earth. In Psalm 47, verse 3, God speaks of his power to subdue. He shall subdue the people under us and the nations under our feet. Now, the context of verse 3, not looking at the other 2 verses, is that this is one of those psalms of God's victory in an adversarial situation. There is no greater adversarial situation that we are facing than the battle of Satan versus self. The battle within, and it's being promoted and pushed and instigated by our number one enemy without, and that is Satan. Hey, everybody, I really appreciate the fact that you're taking the time to spend time with God in his word. We'd love to stay in touch with you. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, pass this on to someone else. And as you can see, we're on the road. We're in St. Louis, Missouri, and we would love to come to your church, your school, or your group. The easiest way to do that is to hit us up with an email. That address is contact@changeministry.org. Satan loves to bring up what you've done and where you've been. And the reason why is because he's a liar. It actually gives him material of truth. When he brings up what you've done that's wrong, when he brings up your mistakes, he's actually standing on truth, even though his effort is to lie. But what he's lying against is not what I have done, because more than likely I probably am guilty. But what he does not want us to see, what he is seeking to deceive us from, is what God has done and what God is going to do. Because in Psalm 18, verse 47, the Bible says it's God that avengeth me. God avengeth me and subdueth the people under me. Now remember, this is the psalmist speaking in the context of battle and warfare, but the greatest warfare is the battle against self, and God has promised to be an avenger for us if we will receive his atonement for us. The gift of Christ, the gift of grace, affords me the confidence to say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, even in the shadow of the own sins that I have committed, I have a God who has gone to the swamp of myself and has now placed me on the mountain of his salvation. The cross of Christ puts us in a position of authority over our accuser. And now to illustrate this, look at what literally happened in Joshua 21. The Lord gave them rest round about. This is him speaking of Israel. Rest around about according to all that he sware to their fathers. See, it was based on what God said to us, not what we said to God. It's what God said to Israel, that they were saved. And there stood not a man of all their enemies before them. The Lord delivered all their enemies into their hand. All means all. And if he said all his enemies, that means that God is going to deliver our enemy, the greatest enemy, and our enemies, Satan and his demons, into our hands. That is what the devil has to look forward to. And this is what we have to stand on today. That's why there's no excuse to fall back into sin. There's no excuse to stay in the dark. Yes, our fallen, broken natures fall into situations, but there is no reason to build a house there. There's no reason to stay there. The prison doors are open, and it swings on the hinge of our own choice to choose the victory that God has given or to choose the past that the devil is insistent that we stay in.